Hello and welcome. My name is Nick Love with Love Racing, and here we're at Tsukaba Circuit 2000 full in the Formula Vee. This is week 12 of season 3, 2023. We're going to start with a full speed lap, followed by a turn-by-turn breakdown lap. We're going to look at a little bit more detail. If you guys are getting any value from these videos, please go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel. All right, heading down to turn 1. We're going to actually turn in before we see the curbing on the inside. We're going to downshift into third, hug the inside tight, get back on throttle about midway through. We get a little bit of runoff on the left that we can use. We're going to try to straight line this next section, just try to turn the steering wheel as little as possible, get all the way over to the right. It's going to be a hard braking zone. We're going to stay in third here. Be careful hitting the inside curbing. That can get the car to spin pretty easily. Track all the way back over left for this corner. This could be flat out. I like to just do a little bit of maintenance lift. That helps settle the car and make sure I can perfect the exit. We're going to stay left to mid-track. Don't track all the way over to the right. That's just adding distance. Going to start braking at the end of the green bumper on the left. We're going to stay in third here, making sure not to turn in too early here. Early apex is going to push you wide, and you're going to lose exit speed. Now as we're headed for the final corner, we're going to want to make sure we're fully track left here. Used all the track we have. We're going to keep our eyes left here for our reference points, which is going to be the blue box on our left. We're going to stay in fourth, turn in, lift off throttle a bit, and then about mid-corner we're going to shift down into third. As long as we get that line right, we can kind of stay on throttle, use all of the runoff on the left. Alright, that was one really fast lap at Tsukaba 2000 full in the Formula Vee. Let's go ahead and dive into a little bit more detail and try to figure out where to save some lap time. Heading down to turn 1, right before we crest this hill and before we can see the curbing on the inside, we're going to want to slowly turn in, aim at the right tire right at that curbing, and then once you're going that way in a straight line, then we're going to go ahead and start getting on the brakes. On corner entry, once we've got most of the braking done right here, we're going to slowly ease off the brakes as we start to tighten up the steering wheel. This is going to allow the rear end of the car to rotate a little bit. It's going to allow us to get back on throttle earlier and carry more speed down this next straight. These next few curves, we're going to try to imagine a straight line. We're going to try to run over these curbs on the left and the right. That way we can minimize our steering angle. In preparation for turn 4, we want to make sure we're fully tracked right. That way we can open up this radius as much as possible. Our braking marker here is going to be the concrete driveway on the right side of the track. We're going to brake hard, aim for about mid-track here. You really have to be really patient here with your throttle discipline and not turning in too early. You don't want to turn in, wait for it. Then when you're really confident you're midway through the corner, then you can get back on throttle. Okay, about midway through the corner, I'm back on throttle. You can kind of look at the steering angle. I'm at 90 degrees. You really don't want to be any more than that in this corner. So if you find yourself really cranking the steering angle, you're 180 degrees, you're just scrubbing speed off. So maybe you got on throttle a little bit too early, or you took a little bit too early of an apex. As we exit 4, we want to get immediately all the way back over the left side of the track. Like I said before in our full speed lap, I like to give a little bit of a maintenance lift. What that's going to do is that's going to help rotate the weight back on the front tires. I did some laps where if you turn in a little bit earlier, you stay full throttle, you can make it through the corner, but you end up needing to crank a little bit more steering angle, and you end up scrubbing more speed off than what you would have if you just lifted a little bit, got the car rotated, and then got back on throttle right at the apex. Alright, we're back to full throttle right at that apex. We're going to use some of the bumper on the inside, and then what we're going to want to make sure we do is don't track all the way out to the right side of the track. You're just adding distance. We got plenty of grip here, and with the Formula Vee, it's just all about minimizing distance while maintaining speed. Turn 8 is going to be one of the most important corners on this track because it leads to a really long straight. We're going to start braking at the end of the green bumper on the left. You're going to actually put the tires on that to increase this radius just a little bit. We're going to go ahead and aim for the car to be about mid-track here, and then we're going to brake past the bumper on the inside and then turn in. Now we're going to threshold brake, stay in third, aiming for the middle of the track. If you find yourself hugged up tight to the bumper on the inside, what's going to happen is you're going to end up being quicker on corner entry, but you're going to be much slower on corner exit, and that's where it's going to hurt you. Okay, about mid-corner, keeping the steering wheel about 90 degrees, no more than that. If you find yourself at the corner exit, you're on the bumpers, and you've still got the steering wheel cranked 90 degrees, you want to remember to try to slowly unfurl the steering wheel as you exit the corner. Alright, as we head to the final corner, we're going to keep our eyes left here. There's going to be a blue box on the left side of the track. We're going to look at that, and that's going to kind of be our reference point to when we can start to turn in. You can actually make up a couple tenths here by turning in while staying full throttle, getting aimed at the corner. Then we're going to go ahead and slowly start to lift, downshift into third about as smoothly as you can. Now we want to be pretty smooth on our application of throttle here in third. If you just slam on the throttle, it's going to actually push you and understeer you wide, and you're going to go into the grass. We do want to be back to full throttle right at the end of the bumper. Now we're safe to put 4 wheels totally off onto the green without getting a 1X. You just have to make sure you get back onto the track before you run into the grass. Alright, thanks for watching. If you guys want to catch the other rookie lap guide videos, there should be a link right here, and I'll see you on the track.